altitude. Telemetry indicates input eject.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep walking.
This is the query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead. Ejecting.
Roger, Control. Omega, this is Control. We shall lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is Forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is Forward 1. You're running out of time. Party Gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gantries as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online.
Omega left. We're getting cargo secured. As soon as we're ready for lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. Now tracking multiple targets inbound.
Got him on radar, Control. Moving to intercept.
Oh no!
We're... meters altitude. Telemetry indicates input eject.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep walking.
This is the query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead. Ejecting.
Roger, Control. Omega, this is Control. We shall lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is Forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is Forward 1. You're running out of time. Party Gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gantries as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online.
Omega left. We're getting cargo secured. As soon as we're ready for lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. Now tracking multiple targets inbound.
Got him on radar, Control. Moving to intercept.
Oh no!
We're... meters altitude. Telemetry indicates input eject.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep walking.
This is the query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead. Ejecting.
Roger, Control. Omega, this is Control. We shall lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is Forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is Forward 1. You're running out of time. Party Gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gantries as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online.
Omega left. We're getting cargo secured. As soon as we're ready for lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. Now tracking multiple targets inbound.
Got him on radar, Control. Moving to intercept.
Oh no!
We're...
attention to the paper doll. Make sure you guys are shooting the correct legs. Be careful of the collisions. I don't want to hear complaints about it. Work around it. Let's play this game.
I need another heavy. I've got TB and a quick draw.
I want to get fairly tight to it. Now, anybody who's going to be working range, I'm going to need you to fade right on this. If anybody's running short, we're just going to stay towards the top of the caldera if we're going to come at them.
I have you in the Griffin.
Sounds good.
Well, that's the thing. We got to get to brawling range, so I may be moving us, right up to the hoop if we have to.
Wolverine nach Charlie 4.
It's fine, chill out, man, it's fine, it's just a 5-star.
Komm, Leute, redet miteinander.
15 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't die. 15 seconds, don't die.
Guys. 3, 2, 1.
Charlie Dar, CT, yellow. Okay, go to Charlie, see if we can get it.
There. To your left, there's there. Acceleration.
So, jetzt gleich hinter die Indie-Pocken,
Mediums be prepared to pull back E40 towards the E5 border. On my mark.
Left side, come on! Like now, I need strikes on empty barrel. Wire our strikes up.
Die Hauptgruppe rechts, Uferlinie.
They have 3 mechs sitting on the left side when you pass over.
Overheating is bad.
Both legs on the Griffin. Hit the Griffin.
Sorry about that. That was such a
That's right. I'm gonna spawn Lance, you guys in Charlie, Lance, you guys in Bravo. That's B2C1.
This third drop is 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults.
Jetzt in die Breite, zieht euch in die Breite.
Lights, watch our backs. We're gonna about base and take up position in Bravo 6.
Ja, kurz Aufschaltung Delta 4, 3 Stück, 2 Mediums einleiten, wie ich es richtig gesehen habe.
Make a firing line.
C4 Tactical Hill, boys.
Fox.
Laufen unter ECM, hab 2 durchlaufen, 10, Bravo 4.
And get ready to hit people coming from our right.
Charlie on the left, Charlie, Hellbringer on the left.
Okay, let's group up towards the left. We're gonna press through Bravo 3 to Bravo 4. I think they're kind of spread out.
Check yourselves. Make sure you've got, UAV cool shot.
Here they come. They're pushing hard, guys.
Deco. Tez on.
Go.
Oh, got a contact here, Bravo 3.
Nice, Marshall. I'm on Delta Griffin.
Well, you cross it then. Get in their face. They got a highlighter. They just push up on Theta. We need help on Theta. Up on Theta.
Yep, that's the noise. Go. Let's finish this.
Full pressure, guys. Full pressure. They're down low. They're down low in Charlie 3.
Get the f***ing arm, Jackson.
Jackson, cool shot. Cough. I got him.
Go, P3, go.
Echo, go.
Get over their medium, guys. Get Echo Stormcrow.
God, I suck as a pilot, but thank I packed my skill.
I'm sorry that you died, sweet girls, but we will send a reasonably nice letter to your family.
Cool. Well, hello everybody. Welcome on into Battle for Midway Season 4 EU Div B Week 4. We got a good matchup for you guys today. We've got 31st Hussar Regiment against CWM Epsilon Galaxy. Should be quite a show. My name is Nia Pickle. I will be your caster for today's match. I've got my co-caster here, Diadachi. Say hello.
Yo.
He says yo. So we're just getting a few
things. Top of the table clash, folks. There's literally 2 points separating these guys between first and second place. 31HR are in the lead at the moment on 37 points, and CWM are in second place on 35 points. So, be very interested to see how this goes today.
Should be quite a show for sure. Just getting the teams into the drop here, getting set up and ready to go. I see West already put something in the chat that I didn't want to see. Going to ignore that, West. I don't see it. So, as the teams are just getting started here, Daidachi, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Let's see, I've been playing since 2015, got me introduced to competition in Battle for Midway Season 2, where it was still 4v4. Enjoyed that, decided to take a chance in World Championships 2016, enjoyed that a bit more, and kept going from there. Since I changed time zones, haven't really been playing comp a lot because, well, it's 4 a.m. in the morning for me. But still like to keep up to date with comp and all the various drops and shenanigans that seem to take place.
Shenanigans. Cool.
Hey man, it's all about shenanigans.
It's all about the shenanigans. Sometimes.
Speaking of shenanigans, are you looking forward to seeing all the hijinks that happen at MetCon?
MetCon's going to be very fun. I'm going to enjoy it. World Championships is going to be very interesting. And of course, I get to hang out with my own unit, 228, and get to meet everybody else. It's going to be quite a fun time. Looking forward to it. I'll be there for...
Whereas I just get to see how much beer Ash can drink.
How much beer can he drink? I want to see how much beer Iron Kilo can drink. But yeah, it's going to be a fun time. I'm going to be there for a week. It's going to be a great time.
Alright, so Team 1, which is 31HR, are locked. So for those who are not familiar with the format for Battle for Midway, there are 5 drops in total. Our first 4 drops are 2 maps apiece, so each team will play on both sides. Obviously, some maps have an advantage to one side over the other. By having both teams play on both sides, that advantage gets negated. And then the 5th drop will be a map ban. So there are 3 drops on 3 maps available. Each team gets to ban 1, and then the 3rd map is what's played on. So for this week, drops 1 and 2 we played on Tourmaline Desert. Drops 3 and 4 will be played on Caustic Valley. And then drop 5 is a choice between HPG, Mining Collective, or Forest Colony.
Alright, so it looks like
both teams
sides
are ready to go.
Are locked and ready to go. Everybody's ready up, just waiting on the launch.
Yep, I will launch this now. Alright, so one other thing to bear in mind with Battle for Midway is it is a free cap conquest game. So it's modified rules. You can find it on the MRBC website if you're looking for more information. But effectively, the easiest way to look at it is that these conquest cap points that are closest to the team spawns on either side are null and void. So it's always going to be Theta and 2 other spawn points. Now, both of these teams have played on Tourmaline Desert and in Caustic Valley in MRBC Season 10. Going to be very interested to see whether their strategies are similar to that.
Alright, so we're dropped here, waiting on the drop ships to drop the ships.
What side do you want to start off on, the Team 1 or the Team 2 side?
I will start off on the Team 1 side, since I'm already there.
No worries.
Alright, for the 31st, we've got a Nova, Mislinks, Hunchback, Nova, Vindicator, and another Hunchback.
And on the CWM side, we've got 2 Arctic Wolves, three Stormcrows, 1 Mistlings. So they can't use any Stormcrows for the remaining drops.
So we've got some of 31st's mechs holding up here on Castle. The back of Delta 6, I believe it is.
1 lone scout who sighted the murder ball that's moving forward from
Wheelmakers
CWM.
are actually making a push up to Theta. Past Theta already. UAV goes up for 31st. Arctic Wolf's hitting Sanju there in the mislinks. Looks like Widowmakers are making a push here up to Castle. 31st are also making a push. We're getting into a brawl situation here. Amsterdam is the first to go down on Widowmaker's team.
Stormcrow.
Next they're targeting...
Now it's going to be a question of, Mike Pantera goes down.
Both Stormcrows go down on Widowmaker's side.
2 of their 3. But Wes Sanson's still up.
The Hunchback goes down on the 31st side. Healing.
This is some really good focus fire from 31HR.
Yeah, 31st is focusing the Verticorda. Mislinks now. Last remaining mechs alive here. He gets to take out Nete. Net-I? It's probably Net-I.
Yeah, Net-I.
Mislinks is now the last alive here. They do have control of Theta, but it's not
going to count for much. It's too small of a cap lead at this stage.
And he goes down. So first match is going to go in the hands of the 31st. See a pool of dead mechs here.
I don't think that was a bad strategy necessarily from CWM. I think where they went wrong was that they overextended. And when they did start trying to push through against 31HR, they just went for a piece.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to... 31st was going to set up for a long-range engagement because they were sticking around the Delta 6 corner there. I thought initially they were going to go for a kind of long-range deck. But as we saw Widowmaker push in on them right up to Theta, Widowmaker, they didn't waste any time. They went right to Theta, right up to where 31st's team was. Mislinks up there was in the front doing some scouting, and just hopped right into brawl territory.
And there we go, drop goes to 31HR fully. So let's have a look at the damage numbers.
So let's take a look at the damage numbers here.
Really good spread of damage, and if you look at Cameron in that Vindicator, that thing has the armor of a heavy mech on a medium, so it takes a long time to go.
Yeah, no Vindicators on CWM side, but yes, Cameron, Laris, and the Vindicator 1X there, 268. Fairly even damage numbers on 31st side. A few variations when it comes to CWM. No, there's the Stormcrows. The thing
to remember with the Stormcrow is the fact that the legs are very weak on it, so and it's got quite a high profile, so if you do get a chance to start focusing it, like most clan mechs, it does actually start melting. Very
interesting. Now, what about the side torsos? I remember way back in the days of 2015, the side torsos were fairly fairly difficult to hit. Is that the same situation that's happening now, or is it different?
To be honest, with the general across-the-board loss of mobility on mechs, it's much easier to focus them now. Stormcrows really were at their apex with their 12 small poles.
Now, I didn't take a look at what the builds were on the Stormcrows there. Did you get a chance to take a look at that?
I was looking at mostly like medium pulse and occasional SRMs.
Interesting. So they weren't voting like one particular weapon. It was a mixed, kind of like a mixed bag of weapons where they had SRMs and also medium pulse.
One of the problems you've got with bringing any sort of mech is for you're either hyper specialized for a street crow and you're only there to kill lights. If you're worried about your opponent bringing piranhas, for instance, in which case you're going to spread damage all over the place if they bring something heavier, or you're bringing something that's built for sustained DPS, like a 6 medium pulse laser build, which won't overheat in a hurry, but it's also not going to do the high alpha that really a comp match demands.
Right.
And that's what separates a lot of teams. You see a lot of loss of focus after the first couple of salvos because, you're doing consistent damage, but you're not doing enough damage to make the opponent go, oh, wow, I need to get away now or I'm going to die.
Right. And that's kind of what we saw there in that last match. Again, I don't know what exactly the Stormcrows were running, but I did see them go down fairly quickly, being focused by 31st Smex.
So should we have a look at the map strat quickly?
Sure. Let's take a look at the map strat here.
So really we saw CWM running a Alpha and Bravo spawn, no nonsense, push straight through Fader and then pushed into that valley there, just above the ridgeline. 31HR on the other hand took it likewise an Alpha and Bravo spawn, but gathered up just on the edge of that D5 pillar and then moved around to the outside and pushed into CWM as they pushed over that ridgeline piecemeal. So normally in a pug match, you'll see control depend on who takes the area around the Stargate, as well as who can take and hold that position just above Fader. To a lesser extent around there, but mostly that first position.
Right.
And that looks like a really weird set of eyes almost. There we go.
Yeah, and the CWM, I think it was, did this, and then when the brawl initiated, when 31st went into there. Sorry, I think it was CWM went.
Yeah,
into
CWM pushed where you had the red, and
yeah.
In the blue where you've got that's 31H.
Yeah. Sorry, I keep getting mixed up on the teams. Don't remember which side is Team 1 or Team 2.
That's okay. I mean, really, you can't really strategize about that all that much. You could, end of the day, you could have said, well, maybe CWM, instead of rushing through Fader and having to go in a disordered charge almost over that ridgeline, would have been better off going for a straight alpha to alpha push. But if 31HR had been bringing range, would they have pounded them on the approach from there?
That's true, because they were hanging out over there in that Delta 5 corner, so they would have seen any sort of push coming from that side. Now, as you said, if they had long range, they, Team 2 side there would be in a severe disadvantage. And I think even if both teams had Brawl decks, you'd see that push coming and you'd be able to prepare for it. So if you were at, say they had mechs all along here, you'd be able to either push in behind, or you'd be able to back up, or, just about face, push right into them. So I
mean, one thing to bear in mind with any sort of range deck on a match that's 6v6, you've got to basically weigh up, are you going to be able to kill or severely damage enough mechs before they get into close range that your long-range weapons, which have lower DPS but better range, are going to be, not disadvantaged by that?
Fair enough.
Because you know that they're going to be running fast, particularly at this low tonnage drops. Are they going to be able to close the distance before you put enough hurt on them that their push is going to fall?
Right. And I think another part of it boils down to which team, I guess, is in a better position versus the other team. Like, if you're doing the push, obviously all the mechs are going to be together, and it really depends on where the receiving team is to determine how to handle that push. And another big part of it is seeing that push before it happens.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we've got both teams ready to launch, so should we get right back?
I think we should. I'd like to see how the second drop happens here. Alright, and we are
launching.
So this is drop 2, Tourmaline Desert, sorry, and teams have been switched sides.
So one thing I wanted to mention before was that movement from 31HR, very much a throwback to their drops on Tourmaline in Season 10 of MRBC, where they executed disorderly pushes from Alpha to Alpha, and really badly got hurt because of it. So that seems to be something they've drilled a bit since then about responding to pushes. Whereas when CWM played this drop, it was a range deck, and they very much just set themselves up with a lot of DACA and just sat at range and then waited for a disordered push to come into them.
So the dropships are inbound here. I'm on Team 1 side again, so that's Clan Widowmakers. We've got Vindicators, Archictitas. Two of them there on that side.
Oh look, and 31HR are executing an alpha push with a bit of spread. I don't know how. It'll be interesting to see with that scout, but it's going off just for south of Theta.
Yeah, Widowmaker's sides, they got the War... what is that mech? That's not a Warhammer.
Wolverine.
That's what it is.
That's a Ballistic Wolverine.
Ballistic Wolverine. You can see Team 2 here. 31st making a push up to Theta. Widowmakers have Kappa. 31st have Epsilon.
I think Stanju needs to be very careful about overcommitting there. Oh, he spotted him and he's getting out. No, he's jumping towards.
He's jumping right into them here. He definitely knows that they're there now, though, so he's not gonna make that poke again.
Dropping a UAV right on the end.
See, there's the UAV. So 31st knows where 5 of the Widowmaker mechs are. It's interesting.
And 31 sitting there on 2 caps to Widowmaker's 1, but caps at this early of a stage of the game, not really great.
Yeah. Now, this is something interesting. Widowmaker's Ice Arctic Cheetah here is attempting to get some sensor locks on 31st's mechs. Looks like 31st is actually doing a small push.
It's not a small push, that's a full-scale committal.
A full-scale
They're
invasion.
moving up to... Well, they're committing to control the Stargate in Murder Valley. So unless CWM rotate all the way around the back, in which case they're going to have to go through that ravine single file, they're pretty much pinned where they are right now. Go on, CWM. Don't be like, Anakin Skywalker. Get the high.
Oh, it's not over just yet. Even though 31st does have the high ground. Now they're actually, instead of pushing down that little hill, they're grouping up at the other side.
Well, to be fair, they don't need to. At the moment, they have high ground, which means that the enemy's going to push into them through a narrow ravine.
Yeah, just what I think
and they're ahead of.
We're turning back around to counter push here.
Foxy's got to be real careful with that Wolverine. So much of its armament is located in the air.
Another strike goes down on the hill. Foxy's able to avoid that strike, luckily. 31st seems to be bouncing between these two hills, trying to prevent Widowmakers from either pushing either side or getting a small light mech in behind. The extra cheetahs there pushing back.
Yep, CWM has pushed through the ravine, and
now Widowmaker
Foxy and the Wolverine leading the charge.
Widowmakers do have a Vindicator in the backfield, which is hitting.
One make down for Widowmakers. That's Foxy. 2 makes down for
Vindicator here on 31st side. Being shot by 3 mechs here.
Yeah, and 2 lights on the other hand, both shooting that one Vindicator, only leaving it at 70%.
A lot of machine guns.
Score screen takes down Sandru. Well, to be fair, it's a perfect map for machine guns. You know, they're a heat neutral weapon. Tourmaline is a hot map. 2 mechs remaining for CWM. 2 mechs down for 31HR. 3 mechs down for them. They finally take out their
Cheetah is still fairly fresh at 84%. Attacking the Hunchback there. Christoph McGain. He's going up against the other Cheetah here.
Wow, this is taking a lot longer than I thought. Christoph finally goes down. Nedeye takes down the other Cheetah. So Verticorder versus Nedeye, and then we'll see if they can take down that. If Verticorder survives, we'll see if he can take down that.
He should survive. He's got a bunch of.
I think the thing that you're seeing from CWM 31HR right now is that they're thinking about, well, even if we die, we need to make sure we maximize our cap points so that he can't possibly cap or decap Theta and Kappa and Epsilon now. Almost 400 tickets. I don't know if he'll be able to do it. I guess we'll see.
It's a slow-moving heavy against a fast-moving light. Provided he can get to the caps as quickly as possible, he might be able to switch things around.
Yeah, might be able to. And that Warhammer's a stick. And he just crit his leg.
Did he just crit his leg?
Yeah, one touch and he'll be this. One touch and he'll be stick.
There is a UAV up there, so it's possible that the Warhammer here knows where the Cheetah is. Just got off Theta, so he decapped Theta. He didn't actually cap it. He just decapped it.
That's the smart thing to do. You don't need to full cap it. You just need to decap. Like, all he's trying to do at this point is reduce it.
Yeah, it's reduce the tickets. Going towards the opposite team.
Makes sense. If he goes for Epsilon, it's only got a small sliver, so if he decaps that, he can afford to spend more time.
That's true. Yeah, you can spend a little bit more time on actually capping. At least both teams now have 1 ticket going for either one.
That's the thing. At the end of a match, he needs to make sure he caps. If he has more tickets, otherwise it's still going to be.
Yeah.
And there we go. Warhammer's sitting on fire.
Yeah, Warhammer's has capped Theta here. So it's still 2 cap advantage for 31st.
Yeah, I think
R2T2's coming
31st
up.
has got this. I don't know if he's going to be able to decap Fader, kill the Warhammer, and get to Kappa and decap it, and get the Kappa particularly.
He's decapped Theta here. Warhammer's running away. I think he's trying to chase. Does he know that he's a stick? We're about to find out.
Oh, regardless of whether he's a stick or not, he's still able to cap.
That's true. I don't think it was a good idea for him to go after the Warhammer here, because even if he takes him out, he's wasting time when he should be capping.
Yeah, but the Warhammer can just go straight back over to Fader. It's close enough that he can reach there.
True. Now, as long as he decaps Kappa, which I think he might be able to, provided he doesn't leg himself, he might be able to pull this off here.
Well, remember, he's only got 2.5 minutes left to get a cap lead.
That is correct. As soon as the tickers for 31st stop, though, might have enough time.
We'll just have to see. Maths has never really been my strongest point, so frankly, it's 4 a.m. in the morning. I don't want to do the math on whether I can get a lead or not.
That's okay.
As soon as this is capped, he's going to have to go dash for Fader.
It's capped. He's making a dash.
Yeah, realistically, going for Fader and hoping that it gives him enough of a lead is the only way he's going to get this in the next minute.
Yeah, luckily he was
Which,
able...
it's not going to happen. Not in a minute and a half.
As he walks through the battlefield of dead mechs.
Field of corpses.
Are they corpses, though? They're not sentient beings.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Technically, corpses are sentient beings that have died.
There were sentient beings inside the cockpits of those.
Yeah, I guess that works.
Now, one thing to point out, normally the other cap points at either team spawn are off limits, but because all mechs on the opposing team are dead, you can freely cap any point you...
Oh. So he's actually going to try to get a 3 cap here on Sig.
Yeah, going to try and get a 4 cap.
4 cap, yes,
it's
sorry.
not going to make a difference in the last 30 seconds.
It might. It might be close. You're right. I don't think it's gonna have
Not in the
enough
next
time.
10 seconds.
So do you think having him decap Theta there at the start of all this, do you think that was a good play on his part, or if he had capped Theta, do you think that would have maybe given Widowmakers the advantage?
No, I think the decapping was important, and he needed to do that because, as we just saw, it was a matter of stopping.
As a matter of stopping the cap versus taking the cap altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Not a matter of seconds. Taking the cap when he did was the smart thing to do, because if he took the cap, that gave the Warhammer more time to get away, which allowed him to get further away from any cap he was going for.
Right.
Looking at these numbers, Nedeye 429 in that mislinks, putting in some work. Christoph in Hunchback 2C, again putting in some work. Interesting results over on the CWM side. Verticorder 576 in that Arctic Cheetah, 519 for Score Scream. Mike Pantera in that Arctic Cheetah 475.
Yeah, 160 there, the Huntsman B with West.
He pushed in directly behind the Wolverine, and those two mechs both died comparatively early. I don't know how much of a Wolverine was, them choosing it to go, well, this needs to tank as much damage as possible on the lead, while other mechs that can do damage get in.
So we're just getting things set up here for the third drop. So if we go over to the map strat here, I did notice on Team 1 side they had posted the majority of their mechs. And Charlie Lance went down to about here and posted up Fox 6 for a little bit. Tried to figure out where the enemy team was. They had two mechs. They had an Arctic Cheetah up here in the somewhere around there in the little mountain area, doing some scouting. Then this way, Echo 6, which is actually where the enemy team was. They had pushed up to Theta, grabbed Theta, and then hung around this area. The two teams kind of around here. And it was interesting. The team 2 side had basically control of this area here, and they were preventing Team 1 from either pushing up this ramp, or pushing up in behind them around this side here.
I think the big mistake from CWM there was they just sat in that depression way too long in
Fox 6 there. Yeah, they did sit there for quite a few minutes, and that kind of allowed Team 2 to kind of get set up and figure out what they wanted to do, figure out how to engage. It allowed them to also go cap the point as well. They capped epsilon, and then the light mech came back.
Well, yeah, they only sliver capped epsilon because, well, it's far enough away. That's all they needed to do.
Yeah. Which,
like, knowing that the engagement's going to take place around the around Theta primarily, you don't need to do more than get a sliver cap on epsilon or kappa really to get in it. So for those who aren't familiar with this, yes, it is 636, and in addition to that, the tonnage changes between drops. So on drops 1 and 2, it is 250 to 275 tons. In drops 3 and 4, it goes up to 375 to 400 tons per team. And in drop 5, it's 425 to 450 tons. So for drop 5, your team must be a minimum of 425 tons of weight, no more than 450.
no more than 450. Also, that actually Kurlan in the Discord says, if you can hold your push to talk button down longer when you finish talking, your last word is getting cut off.
Okay, I will bear it in mind.
So just hold that push to talk button down just a wee bit longer. So, the next drop here is Caustic Valley, again 3 cap. You said tonnage goes up to 450?
450 for drop 5. For drop 4, And drop 3, it's 375 to 400 tons between teams.
375 to 400. Not a lot of leeway
So
there.
you will start seeing more heavies, maybe the odd light assault. I mean, back when it was 4v4, we saw a team bring a Warhawk and 3 urban mechs.
A Warhawk and 3 urban mechs. Interesting.
Yeah, man, that Warhawk wrecked face. It was back when the Warhawk was the pinnacle of way before the Kodiak 3.
The pinnacle of the clan.
Hey man, looking at Twitch, we've got 43 viewers so far on what is an early morning Friday, late night Thursday for some. Not even NA Prime yet, so I'm pretty keen with it. Particularly given we didn't really do any advertising in advance.
That's true. I don't typically pay attention to the viewer count because it makes me super nervous, so I'm just pretending it doesn't exist. But let me get the maps.
So right, it's 42 cloned counterpoint.
42
Ignore the names.
42 cloned accounts. They're probably all West.
Shh.
There's a bit of clipping going on there.
So just some background on both these teams. They're both long-term veterans of the competitive scene. 31HR were in Division B in Season 10 of MRBC, whereas CWM were in Division D of EU. So CWM came first place with an 18-2 drop record. 31HR were third place in Division B with a 15-15 win record. Both teams are currently sitting on a 2-1 win-loss record at their first 3 weeks of drops for Battle for Midway. So, as I said earlier, pretty much tied for first place. The only thing separating them is 2 points in favour of 31HR.
2 points.
We'll see whether CWM can take this back to make it a 3-2.
Two points is not allowed to go on. You have to really play at your best. The smallest amount of mistakes or whatever might just cause the loss.
Alright, so CWM indicating they're locked and ready, just waiting on 31HR. One thing you'll note is that in a competitive environment, any mistake you make tends to get amplified because you don't have the luxury of having 12 people on each side in total. You don't have to worry about repeat spawns to recover from your losses. Every loss makes a difference, and that's why things like cycling armor, especially on brawl pushes, makes such a massive difference.
Especially on in a tournament like this where it's 6v6 and not, like as you said, not 12v12, not even 8v8 like MRBC is. It's 6v6, so every single mech that goes down is a detriment to that team. Every single mech is very important.
Okay, so both teams have indicated ready, so let's launch. Just checking, we do have the OBS source selected.
Yes. Don't worry.
There'll be no radio cast this stream.
You're not gonna get a radio cast from me. Not now, anyway. No, I majored in television broadcasting, so if I do a radio cast, there's something else going on.
Hey man, I just run warehouses, so.
Lovely Caustic Valley. So, which are the cap points here that the teams are allowed and not allowed to get?
So Kappa, Theta, and Epsilon are the points they're allowed to get. So they're not allowed to grab Sigma or Gamma.
Okay. So, dropships are heading in. I'm on Team 2 side, so this is the 31st here. We've got an assault, I think. Yeah, we've got 2 Mad Cat Mark IIs, a Warhammer,
2 variant.
and an Arctic Cheetah for 31st.
CWM, they're running 2 assassins, again 2 Mad Cat Mark IIs, a 3rd assassin, and a 3rd Mad Cat Mark.
3rd Mad Cat Mark II. Interesting. So,
And we've got an early engagement over
at Theta. Ooh. Piranha's bugging out
Piranha
there.
datting out, and
We've got Widowmaker's assassin here being shot by 31st's mechs. He's trying to take a look at Kappa to see if maybe he can take it. But 31st's Arctic Cheetah is already there. Amsterdam just kind of holding around that hill there. Looks like he really wants to take the cap point. Sanju here in the Arctic Cheetah is actually pushing that hill, so we're about to see a small little brawl here. If Amsterdam decides to stay where he is. 31st's team is making a push over to this hill. Amsterdam better be careful. What is going on here? Sanju just ran right by Amsterdam. I don't know if he knew he was there. He's turning around, making a push now to him. Amsterdam running away. Meanwhile, up here in the Caldera, we've got the rest of 31st making a push around the Caldera here. CWM is cresting the hills here, trying to get some shots off.
Foxy sitting on 75%, and the thing with those Mad Cats is that every shot counts because they are paper tigers.
Yeah.
They do massive amount of damage, but
Foxy goes down the
and
mid
yeah,
cap.
Foxy goes.
There's
Like the bunny ears in particular make them really easy to hit.
And there's 2 battles going on here. Battle of the Lights, Arctic Cheetahs versus Assassins, and then the big heavy boys.
And it's 1 apiece, but Wes Sanson's down to 68%, Cameron down to 60%. Yeah, Cameron's gonna get mobbed from behind. 4 minutes.
Yeah, it gets really difficult to call these brawls here because there's so much going on at one time.
Well, the key thing you'll notice is that most teams do really well at focusing their first target. Where things fall over after that is the second or subsequent one, because too often the person who calls for focus target is in the lead and calls out a target that maybe the rest of the team can't actually see it.
So
But yeah, we've got 2 separate engagements going on right here. An
Yeah.
assassin versus a Mad Cat and another light. Then 3 Widowmaker mechs against the remaining.
Remaining Mad Cat on 31st side's being shot by Starscream, the assassin here. He
I
breaks
think
off
this
the
one's
attack.
going to go in the way of Widowmakers. 2 mechs remaining for 31 HR, and yes, Widowmakers are all damaged, but I think it'll go.
Looks like Amsterdam shut down there. In the
Bad shutdown.
yeah,
Bad
shut down
shutdown.
there. So there's now a fight over to Kappa. The Mad Cat Mark II made it over here. Oh no, sorry, these are 2 of the same team. My apologies.
Mad Cat and an assassin made it over. They're trying to make it a.
So I'm still. Oh wait, no, yes. My
Yeah,
apologies.
and look, Stimrag's a stick. He's got no arms.
Yeah. So he's gonna take Kappa there. The assassin is.
Oh, nice strike placement on him.
Ooh.
Very nice strike placement.
I missed that, unfortunately. I only caught the tail end. He goes down by strike. So now just Starscream in the assassin at 70%. Trying to loop around the Caldera. Might be trying to see if maybe he can get a cap. It is 3 cap advantage going in favor of Widowmaker right now. However, Mad Cat here on 31st's team. Only at 33%, but he's taking Theta. Whereabouts is the other mech? 31st's
Heading
other
over to
mech
Kappa.
here. He's heading on over to Kappa, Warhammer. Slowly sauntering his way over. Assassin, however, has made his way all the way over to Epsi. Not exactly sure why he's heading over here. They already
He'll be
have
aiming
the
to full
cap.
cap up.
Okay. Might be seeing.
It's only sliver caps at the moment, so if he full caps it, then they've got to send someone over there and spend time. And given that they've only got an assault and a heavy left, that's going to take them valuable time that they could spend.
Right. That's actually a fairly good call. Interesting headpiece this assassin has. Let's see if I can click on the assassin here. So still fairly fresh. Got all of his SRMs still. Only the left torso there is a little injured. But for the most part, he's still fairly fresh. His left leg there is a little hurt. Just gotta keep an eye on that.
I'm going to be very interested to see whether this is similar on next drop or not, because last time 31HR fought on Caustic in Season 10, they executed what we call the Australian Toilet, which is a reverse net.
Now Axram here, 33%, is very injured. He gets shot on that right torso and he could go down. Now Scorescream is taking Theta, however he's being shot by the rest of 31st.
Well, and the thing is, he takes shots from an enemy mech, but Cap gets interrupted for 5 seconds.
Both mechs from 31st come back to defend the cap point. Scorescream might try to head on over to Kappa, however, he's going to be intercepted by Warhammer here. Warhammer has him in his sights. He wants him dead. He just hopped over the hill there in the nick of time.
Well, and the thing is, he might even be going, well, I'm just going to hold on the side of this mountain range and wait for Warhammer to come around and go after him. No, he's just going to keep going.
Yeah, he's going to try and work on the cap there.
I guess it's one thing for us to talk about this while we're looking at it from spectator, and quite a different thing while you're in the cockpit yourself.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Make those.
Because we don't know what their call is and what they're attempting to do, so it's difficult to try and we can only call.
Oh, I like this. Look at him. He's looping back around.
He is. Oh.
Making the Warhammer over.
What a sneaky guy. What?
And Warhammer's going towards that cap. He might even go after the. He might even go after the Madcap Mark II.
Christoph there. Yeah, Christoph there put down an airstrike in an attempt to see if maybe he could take out the assassin there, or at least stop the cap. He has no idea the assassin is double backing over to Theta. Meanwhile,
that was a really smart play by Scorescream.
The leg to Madcap Mark II is actually cresting the. Oh, they're going to intercept here. Madcap Mark II here is going to intercept him in just a moment. He now knows that he's on the cap. I don't think he knows he's right there. They're super close. Oh, he's looking the other way. He doesn't know he's...
Now he knows.
Now he knows for sure. That is terrifying, seeing the assault bunch up like that. But if he gets a good shot on that side torso, that Mad Cat's toast. And the
well, and given the Mad Cat's only got one arm,
yeah.
All he can do is just keep rotating.
Yeah.
But the longer he leaves it, the more likely Christoph is to get back, and that's probably what he's thinking.
Now, I think the assassin is actually out of ammo because he's not firing at the Mad Cat.
Yeah, but it makes sense actually if it's a
otherwise I think
high
he
alpha
would have.
build.
Yeah, he
it's probably running 4 SRM4. Yeah, I think he's running 4 SRM6s, so that build runs really low.
Really low on ammo. This is why ammo is an important thing. Unfortunately, he is unable to get this cap, so all he can do is sit here and cry. Down to 40%. Warhammer
yeah, and
is,
because all the enemy mechs aren't dead, he can't even cap Gamma or Sigma. If they were both dead, then he could do that. Maybe he was just hoping to make the Mad Cat over. Oh, look, ramming damage.
He's trying to ram him here. Prepare for ramming speed!
Okay, Captain Wolf. Yeah, and at this point the Mad Cat's aware that he's out of ammo.
He's like,
done.
yeah.
Meta, what? And 1 minute 50 more of this.
Yeah, so he's just gonna sit on that cap and deny the cap. Whereabouts did the Warhammer go?
He's still over at Kappa.
Is he? Oh, he is over at Kappa. I missed him. West says, luckily there's melee combat in that game. So Assassin's gonna go say hello to the Warhammer here. Also, he cannot cap Kappa either. Warhammer's up on this cap point. Just hanging out, saying hello.
Well, the Warhammer at least is in wireless.
All I can do is play this dance. This inevitable dance of eventual death. Sanju says, well...
I feel like this is what... I think this is going to be one of those situations where people start typing to all chat, so you come here...
Yeah. I mean...
So, if on the off chance we've got someone watching who's new to Mech Warrior Online, if there are 2 mechs on a cap point, then neither side caps it. If the team that's already got it capped doesn't have their level decrease.
Yeah, so that's what's happening right now here. Scorescream and Christoph McEgan are both on Kappa, which is why Kappa's not doing anything. If one of the mechs goes off the cap point, then the mech that stays on the cap point is able to cap the point, but it's currently contested right now, which is why the little borders there are flashing on the perimeter. Both mechs are not willing to get off
I thought
the
it was
cap.
a really nice move by Scorescream. Unfortunately, the Madcap Mark II interrupted what his plan was.
Yeah, I that was a really interesting play on his part. That was a really good idea to bait the Warhammer down there so he could possibly get back to Theta. That was a really good job.
Ooh, look at that, Christoph,
there,
758.
750.
And Exarian, 675.
675 there. The other Madcat Mark II, 306. Piranha and Net Eye there, 76 damage. On the other side, CWM, we've got Scorescream and Assassin actually doing 600 damage there.
And Amsterdam in the other Assassin, 476. But overheat there was really costly. Like, just shutting down when the 2 mechs were around him.
Yeah, definitely not a good idea. Now that area, not that area right beside where they were right there, but the area like inside the Caldera is actually hotter than outside. So had they been inside, it would have been probably a slower fight because the mechs would have been inherently hotter. But yeah, as you said, that shut down.
Bear in mind with the Caldera, the heat varies depending on where you are in the Caldera.
Oh, does it?
Mm-hmm. So if you go further around the testing grounds, you'll find that depending on what part of the Caldera you're in, your heat will go anywhere from 7% through to 50%.
So is that more towards the center of the Caldera, or more around the outside where you get hotter?
More around the center, but also where the smoke vents are. So
okay.
The other thing is you'll find a lot of pilots, if they're fighting in the Caldera, will switch to night vision because it filters through most of the smoke.
That's true, whereas the heat, the thermal vision doesn't do that. So we're getting prepared for drop 4 here. Let's take a look at the map strat. I'll try and remember exactly just what happened.
Well, we have full 12 minutes of it. So.
We have a full 12 minutes. I'm just trying to remember what happened right off the top.
Well, really, we had Team 2 move right up to that base and set themselves up around there while they had one mech go off to Epsilon.
Yeah, the blue line I just drew is where the Assassin went. I'm not sure exactly where the rest of Team 1 went, because I was mainly looking at the Assassin there. And then Team 2...
Well, they went around here and then rotated.
Right, okay. And then Team 2 kind of did a very slow rotation, just like this here. That is a horrible arrow. I'm bad at drawing arrows.
That's okay. The viewers get what you mean, so that's all good.
And they did have a mech actually go and take the cap. Now, there was an interesting situation that I witnessed right off the top of that. It was the Arctic Cheetah. The assassin was hanging around in Charlie 3. There's a little hill here. He was hanging around where that dot is. The Arctic Cheetah took the cap, went this way, and actually went in behind and past the assassin. I'm not sure he actually saw the assassin hiding there. But of course, as soon as, you know, the pushing team on Charlie 4 there made the call, said, hey look, the assassin's still here, Cheetah had actually turned around and started shooting and engaging the assassin. So that was very interesting. He was hiding there in that little corner. It's possible that he was bait. It's possible he was baiting the assassin, because he had seen, the entire team had actually already seen the assassin up there. I guess maybe they thought he had run away, but he most definitely did not run away. He was still sitting there hiding in that little hill. So it was just interesting to see that the Cheetah pushing around that side, being primarily a scouting mech, not take a look around that corner as he goes to make sure that the assassin was no longer there. But as I said, it could have been bait. Could have been bait to keep him there. I'm not sure. What are your thoughts on that?
To be honest, I think there was an element of bait, but more to the point, it was about getting confirmation on exactly where they were. If you remember, their UAV got shot down fairly quickly. So both teams are locked and ready to go. More than anything, I think bringing those Madcat Mark IIs is a mistake. They probably would have been better off with Scorchers. Well, you can't bring Scorch, but can't bring Keepers, but something different. The Mark II, for all that it dishes out damage, those bunny ears just make it super vulnerable to any shots from above.
That's true. If a mech that's able to hell peek can easily shoot off those ears, and it's all side torso. So.
Well, and even after the missile pop, even after the side torso is destroyed, it still counts as a side torso shot if you hit that hitbox, even if there's nothing there to shoot.
Yeah. And another thing too, with most of the clay mechs that they're running, is if you take off both torsos, the mech goes down, much like using an LFE on the IS side.
Mm-hmm. So we are launching. We're on the loading screen at the moment. If you want to switch.
Yep. Already done. I will say though. Excellent. Caustic Valley does look very beautiful with the lighting that's going on.
When you're not piloting.
When you're not piloting it, yes, it looks very beautiful. When you are piloting it, the frame rate tends to, suffer, at least on my end, because my computer
It's an ugly planet. A bug planet.
Alright, so once again, I am on Team 2 side. So Widowmaker here. They brought some Orions. Ooh, tasty. Linebackers and Orions, probably SRM boats. So we got 3 Orions here, some lovely surprise Orions, and a linebacker.
And on the 31HR side, 2 Orion 2Cs, 2 Night Gears, a Piranha and that Warhammer.
A Piranha and a Warhammer. And Orions. And you said 1 Night Gear, correct? 2 Night Gears.
2 Night Gears.
Interesting. So it looks like they're probably going for a little bit longer range. 31st.
Oh, they might be bringing ATMs on those Night Gears.
That could very well be true. Whereas Widowmaker here doing a really fast push over to Kappa. Making a nice fast push here over on Kappa's side.
Yeah, but look at this.
Oh!
31HR have set up, ready to...
Yeah, they know that they're there now, though. So there's definitely ATMs on the Night Gears. They have an Orion. West Stanton's falling back there in an Orion. He's going to push up. Now, this is really interesting. Widowmaker there is holding that corner, waiting for 31st to get in range so they can brawl. They need to not
Yeah, but look at how much damage Starscream's already taken.
Yeah, they need to...
70%.
Yeah, they need to not be shot at. They're taking a lot of damage here. Starscream is actually rotating to the back of his team, try and spread some damage. Widowmaker's making a push now. They're making the push now here.
Yeah, like
Axe
against
and the-
ATM advance like that, you have to just push in. You cannot
Yeah.
afford to just sit back. Stimrag 44%. He's going to go down any second now.
Yeah, he goes down.
Yep.
31st still has that Netgear there shooting the backs of Widowmaker. They really have to keep an eye on that. Score Scream and Stimmerag both go down. Foxy is now down in the Orion. Only the Warhammer's down for 31st here. Both Netgears are actually behind Widowmaker, shooting them with those ATMs in the back. I do still believe that there is a bug with the ATMs where they crit the backs a little bit more. I think they do a little bit like internal structure damage.
I'm not sure on
Very
that, but
heavy on
I
the
do
crit.
know that with those night gears, you got to be Mike Pantera bad overheat there in the bushwhacker.
Yeah, he goes down.
I do
there,
know that.
Bushwhacker.
Yeah. And this is a
And a self-destruction.
6 down. So
Yeah, five. That was a 5-0. No teams got the caps, but it didn't matter because nice little. That was,
yeah,
a
that
very,
was over,
yeah.
over so quickly that
Yeah.
you don't need it.
Now it was. I really liked how 31st pushed their night gears all the way behind the brawl, like behind the push that Widowmaker did, into the backs of Widowmaker's team. So then those ATMs were going into the backs. A lot of the time you're going to see the mechs here run low back armor. So those ATMs chewed apart.
I think once we go onto a map strat screen, like, yeah, there is a lot there to like from 31HR. Like, just the smoothness of their response there to that push. The initial positioning when they knew that push was coming, and then what they did in response to that push was textbook.
It was a textbook play, boys and girls. Yeah, 31st there. The Orion's coming at 587 for 486, 310 with the Piranha there. Only 238 with the Warhammer there. But I think
Yeah, but the
he
one was
pretty much-
tanking damage.
Yeah, he was pretty much the first one down. The Night Gears, both Cameron and Axrion there, 661 and 471. So very, very high damage numbers for those ATM Night Gears. They definitely made a very good play on that part. And I really liked the way, like, I've run the Night Gear, I've run that ATM Night Gear in matches, and it is stupid slow. I really liked how they had pushed both Night Gears. Like, they must have been W keying the entire time. They did not stop once. They pushed. They were very lucky in that they didn't get focused because they kind of wrapped. They kind of pushed in a kind of a straight line, and they, as CWM made the push into the main body of 31st, those Night Gears kind of took up a position behind CWM, and they were able to get those back shots with the ATMs.
Well, I mean, if you look at the map strat, basically, 31HR pushed up to around here, waited for CWM to commit, and then had their night gears pop back into the buildings there and then into the back of C4, while the rest of the team rotated around here to make sure that minimum distance of 120 meters got maintained at all times.
That's true.
CWM committed and went after the Warhammer and the Orions.
Yeah.
Oh, and we've got a map ban done, so it'll be HPG.
HPG.
CWM banning Forest and 31HR banning Mining Collective.
Alright, so HPG Conquest. So the
Yeah, I think that was a really good move by 31HR, just in terms of having a sense of where they were going to, or where the opponents were going to move to, and then being ready to respond to that straight.
Yeah, and being ready to respond right away. They did have a few extra seconds as CWM kind of, they balled up in the corner, attempting to not be shot and waiting for, I don't know exactly what they were waiting for. I think they were waiting for 31st to make a little bit more of a push, get a little bit closer so that they could actually make a conceded push. There may have been confusion. Maybe they thought that they were going to go around inside the caldera and then trying to push in behind. But yeah, 31st there just doing a really good job. as you said, acting on what they saw, playing the strat that they had. They did a really good job at that.
I also want to point out particular praise for both teams for being ready to go, pretty much straight away tonight.
Yes.
It's been really good to have quick, rapid
Yes, for sure.
text and that comment in Twitch chat.
Yeah, everybody readies up. They run the mechs that they want to run. They get set up. Everybody in the drop is set up and ready to go within a matter of minutes.
And if you're thinking about getting into comp yourself, like that's one thing that's really important. Just having that respect for your opponent and your team, and being organized enough to have your drop decks and your pilots set up in advance, so you're not sitting there having a match drag on for 2 or more hours. Like, we've all got families, we've all got lives outside of NWO. We want to compete and we want to have fun, but we don't want to be sitting here for hours on end, waiting for a drop.
Yeah, and
if we're going to that, we play Oceanic Primetime Group Queue.
Yeah, and I can understand, say a team is going up against a team that they may not have gone up against before, and they want to really try to see, like, maybe they're not sure as to what the strats they should use. They're talking amongst themselves. They're finding out which player has which mech, which player has played that certain mech on that certain drop, which player knows what they want to do. In a situation like this where it's a 6v6, I'm not sure if they can swap players out. Is that possible?
Yeah, you're absolutely allowed to swap players
okay.
out.
So in that situation, like I know for scrims and stuff, sometimes when we're going up against teams that are, much more experienced than we are, and, of course we want to win. We've got, I guess in the case with BFM here, I'm not seeing any change of players, but like for example,
there are, but the teams are getting it done outside of the lobby. So
that's true. Yes.
They've already got
yeah, exactly what you're saying. Like teams are ready to
and
go.
One of the reasons you don't see a lot of pilots changing is because most teams will go with a preferred roster. They want to play together consistently. You make too many changes and you wind up with disruption, but you might have your specialist light pilots who just go, look, I am not suited to playing an assault. Don't put me in an assault. I'm going to do badly.
Yeah. Yeah, but it seems like both teams here, they have all their players who are running all the mechs that they need them to run. Everything is good to go on both teams' side here, so the matches are going fairly quickly. The map banning phase happened very quickly. So both teams are just they're in it to win it today. Definitely in it to win it, and it's good to see.
One thing that's been pointed out from Twitch chat is that the score on the screen is actually not up.
The score on the screen is, you're right, not updating, because I'm not updating it because I'm dumb. Because I completely forgot. Can you quickly remind me which team?
It is 4-0 in favor of 31-8.
4-0? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that should update. There we go. 4-0 in favor of 31st Hussars. My apologies on that. It's my first time doing like the actual broadcast of a cast for a competitive match outside of the one I did a number of months back. Oblivion, one of my other unit members, and myself, we hosted and organized our own little 2v2 situation. This was actually just before Solaris itself launched, and like I didn't use the MRVC controller or anything, so that was my bad doing that. So this is my third time doing a cast, so I'm sure there's gonna be a few things that I forget.
Both teams are locked and ready to go. I also just want to quickly point out that we have the 20th anniversary of Russian Jade Falcon coming up, and they're running a 1v1 invitational. There's a link up on Outreach if for those who use Reddit, or I will paste a link into Twitch chat at the end of the stream. But
So-
that will be running on November 24th.
November 24th. At what time? What time zone is that in?
1 p.m. UTC.
I don't know what that is on my time zone. I don't know, UTC?
Hey man, you can work it out.
Yeah,
It's all good. I believe in you.
Google is your friend. Alright, so we're dropping here. HPG. Drop 4. Let's do this. And when-
Drop 5 HPG.
Drop 5, my apologies. And once again, Daijachi, I want to say thank you for co-casting with me. I would not have been able to do this by myself.
I think you would have. I think you would have had a bit more adjusting, but you'd get used to it.
I beg to differ, but okay. I appreciate your confidence in me.
So one thing about HPG that's really changed now is the addition of that gate through the center on each side.
Yes.
It's really changed the dynamics of.
And that happened not too long ago, actually. They introduced the new gates. So there's an extra little area.
Oh, look at this! I like these mech choices. This is interesting.
So I'm on Widowmaker's side here, just kind of doing stupid stuff with the camera. So we got linebackers.
Gargoyles. I love gargoyles.
Gargoyles. Interesting. So gargoyles and Kodiaks for Widowmaker's side. Bushwhackers. I think one of them is a supernova there. Very slow
Yep,
compared
the
to
A variant. That's the ATM variant, or LRM one. Whereas on the 31HR side, they have 3 Kodiak 3s and an MX.
Sorry.
It's like 2016 all over again.
They brought a Sun Spider. Widowmakers brought a Sun Spider. That makes me so happy. That looks like the DACA build on the Sun Spider. My second favorite mech in the game currently. Anyway, sorry, going back to the drop here. Arctic Cheetah here, Sanju taking some shots.
Literally, I'm looking at 31HR's deck at the moment and going, 2016 World Championships called and they want their deck.
They want their deck back. So 31st here's making a little bit of a push. They're a little spread out. Got some MRMs coming from the Mauler there. They're fairly heavy. 3 Kodiaks,
I'm really
1
surprised
Mauler.
running that. I would have probably run the 4 UAC 2 AC2 build and combine it with the DACA from the Kodiak 3.
The Widowmakers are making a push towards the assault.
And 31HR are going basement.
They are going basement indeed. Epsilon and Theta are almost full capped by 31st. Widowmakers making
Oh,
a
Cameron
push.
needs to get under there. So does X-Area and Bear are going to get absolutely destroyed. And yeah, Christoph and Kaiser are coming
Yeah.
back out again, but
It's over,
damage has
Axion.
already
They
been-
have the high ground. Sanju coming in to try and help, but Axion goes down. Sanju now taking the back on Stimrog.
Stimrog.
There.
But look at
Meanwhile,
Nedeye versus Score Scream up on top.
Astra Doom are down. Sorry, there's another.
Stimrog takes down
fight going
Sanju.
down here. Score Stream getting those long-range shots off in the Sun Spider there. Cameron Laris goes down.
Oof, this is comprehensive.
Not looking good for 31st right now. Last 2 mechs remaining. Net Eye down to 70. Augustus goes down.
Just Nedeye left.
Just Net Eye left here. The
And
R2
dropping a
gets
strike,
leg.
he's going to hit something with it.
And Net Eye finally goes down.
And there we go. And that was finished quickly enough. That will be a sweep for CWM of that drop.
Yep. So CWM takes this drop here. Everybody's going down into the basement to have a party. I have to say, I am honestly surprised to see a Sun Spider in these drops. I did not... That's probably the last mech I expected to see here. Very happy to see it, though.
Oh, are you kidding me? Like, have you not been seeing the rampant use of the Sunspider B since the patch? Because of a set of 8 quirks, you can now run 3 ERPPCs and eat the heat from an alpha without, even with the go.
Might have to give that a try at some point. I do like the decals that they've got. Stimrog here on his gargoyle. If he stops moving, he's got a little splat right there in his face.
That's a guy who got a massive pair of lips on my one.
So they're just hanging out here having the party, waiting for the caps to switch. I'm just taking a look at the mechs here. Seeing what the cosmetics look like. Very interesting face splat. And it's over. This match is in favor of Clan Widowmaker. So let's look at damage numbers here. Fox 84 on the linebacker there. 386. Bushwhacker Gargoyles 412, 371, 158. Amsterdam there was focused just pretty hard.
Yeah.
But
Look at that, West End 440. Like you said.
alright, even though 31st had a large, I want to say a large tonnage advantage with those 3 Kodiaks and the Mauler, the Kodiaks and the Mauler are just so slow compared to how fast the Gargoyles are. You know, you've got a Gargoyle, a Bushwhacker, the Sunspider, still fairly, even though it's not really tanky, he put himself up in a nice spot so then he wouldn't be shot too much, because you know, I've run the Sunspider extensively and it is not a tanky mech. It has probably 30 armor less in each torso than it does at CT, so it really has to, the positioning in that mech is very important. And, you know, even though they had, you know, 3 Kodiaks and a Mauler, a lot of firepower, a lot of armor, they don't have the mobility that Widowmaker had there with those fast maneuverable Gargoyles. It was a very interesting match to see there. Oh yes, I have to update it. So this match here goes in favor of CWM.
Yep, and I've just PM'd both the team captains asking if they could join the MLBC public channel on Discord, and we'll drag
him in, say hello. So while we're waiting for them, let's take a look at the map strat here. Do you want to go over the map and we'll talk about what happened? Because I do admit, I did kind of get caught up there on that Sunspider. I was very, very happy to see it. So I wasn't necessarily paying attention, so I do apologize for that.
No worries. So I'm just going to keep an eye on Discord as well, so I can see when
they hop in, sure. If you actually want to go over what happened in the drop, I'll keep an eye on Discord.
No worries. Alright, so from 31HR, we saw them push through that central gate. Same thing on the other side, but whereas CWM took the top ground, 31HR, in complete contrast to previous drops where we've seen them very aggressively commit to a move, half their team started going basement and half their team were outside, and Widowmakers just wrapped around that high ground and just started firing down. By the time the remaining mechs that were underneath Fader went to come out, their teammates were already being destroyed. Alright, so we've got reps up above. Let's drag them down and have a quick chat.
Okay.
Hello.
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 Hey guys.
Good drops tonight, guys. There are some fun and entertaining matches to watch, definitely.
I had to wash my hands between matches. That's enough said, I think.
That's just because you used ATMs.
Yeah, we do feel dirty for that, but unfortunately it does work.
It definitely did work. I won't take anything away from you guys. You guys played really well. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
I do want to say I really liked the way on that caustic match how you had pushed both of your night gears in behind the enemy team there to get those backs with those ATMs. That was a very smart play on your part.
Yeah, I loved the position that I was able to get in on top of the tail. That was very helpful.
Yeah, because I noticed that you guys were set up really well to receive the push, and then when the Orions were pushed in on, along with your Warhammer, your night gears just kept moving and kept on making sure they had that minimum range to just deal out max damage.
Yeah, that's always very dangerous if you feel like you're playing LRMs and you're staying way back with your ATMs because you're too afraid to get the close in, and then you just don't do your damage, and the enemy mechs are gonna be there for too long a time.
So, out of curiosity, how long have you guys been rehearsing these strats for? Because I'm very much seeing a development in your performances in Season 10 of MRBC compared to your performances today. In Season 10, if you don't mind me saying, especially on your Tourmaline drops, you seemed very hesitant and your pushes were disordered, whereas today, like, you had a strat and you just stuck to it.
Yeah, I think we were definitely able to do some improvements. We have been doing a lot of scrimming during the summertime. We had some downtime for the World Championship, which was the stock mess. But then we were very quickly able to get back to scrims. We did a lot of scrims with Drapeau Blanche, which unfortunately paid back by them crashing us in our first week. But currently we're just doing scrims on Mondays and then doing our best on Thursdays. But
Okay.
I'm very happy to have a very old school troop, some pilots with a lot of experience that I can draw on.
So I do want to ask you guys. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Neil. Go ahead, Neil.
Okay, I do want to ask you guys. How did each team feel before the match started? How did each team feel before the matches going up against each other? Like for 31st, how did you feel going up against CWM? And CWM, how did you feel going up against 31st here?
Foxy, you want to go first, or should I go?
We thought we stood a fair chance, and then we didn't actually stand a fair chance.
Those matches were very close.
A couple of the matches were very close. We felt fairly confident going in, but unfortunately, again, I don't want to take anything away from you guys. You played really well. A bunch of our pilots had to pull out at the last minute, so that's got us a bit, but we managed to get a team together to play against you guys, and it was awesome matches. And we still felt halfway through we could maybe turn this around, but you guys played really well, and I can't take anything away from that. That it was brilliant matches on your part and brilliant strategies. You seemed to counter us at every turn, so congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much, Foxy. For us, since we messed up a little bit in week 1, we knew that we were going for a hard season. We knew that we had to show very good results for week 2 to 5, and we knew that with today's week we would be up against one of the more difficult enemies of the season. So we felt that Clan Widowmakers and the 5th Falcon Dragoons we're gonna play next week were probably gonna be our main enemies in the season, besides Drapeau Blanche. And we got a strong start on week 2 and week 3 with our victories, but we knew that we had to get going this week. We had to continue on this push to stand a chance to still get to the first rank of this division. So we were very we knew that we were up for a hard fight. We tried to prepare the best that we could. We felt a bit unsecure about drop 5, which actually showed that it was true. We felt hard pushed on the sides of the maps we had. So on a lot of maps, we felt we had a difficult side. And we tried something on HPG, and you guys very knowingly, you reacted perfectly. You absolutely got us there, and that was a very well-deserved 6-0 victory got there.
Thank you.
So, I think we've pretty much just covered just about everything tonight. But is there anything else you guys would like to say or mention before?
I think what I would like to say is that it's awesome that we actually do have the season going, that we do have our awesome shoutcasters like we have them today. Thank you very much, guys, for this.
You're welcome.
Without you guys, the tournaments wouldn't be half as much fun.
And I also oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I feel it's really awesome that with our week 2 enemies, which with the Italian team, with the
Mamma Mia.
Oh, yeah, Mamma Mia. We have some new faces in here. They have a drop caller who's been playing MRBC for a while, but his team is fairly new. So, shout out to those guys. I think it's really awesome that we still have fresh, competitive pilots coming into the game and keeping it alive, which is awesome.
And
I'd also just like to say thank you to you guys for casting this, and you know, it makes the tournaments, as Cameron said, a lot more fun and a lot more playable. And also to everyone that participates in these competitive things, that's the only way we can keep it going, is if we get more new people in and things like that. As this is my first season DCing competitively, it's quite a change.
Well, and the other thing is that the joy of having your matches shoutcast is that you've got a tool where you can actually review your matches and how you went afterwards. Being able to watch your own videos from your own perspective is one thing, but having a dedicated spectator view actually makes for a really invaluable resource, just in terms of reviewing how you did and where you positioned.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
And that's something that we did a lot in Swamp Foxes as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's really something we try to
Live is grabbing you a couple of codes now for.
So I do also want to say to both teams, thank you guys, and this is something that Di mentioned earlier on. Thank you guys both for being, ready to go. Some of the times it can be difficult to try and cast in between matches because we eventually run out of stuff to talk about, but you guys, both teams were ready to go. You had your players ready, everything was ready to go, and within maybe 2-3 minutes you guys were ready for the next match. I actually noticed quite a few times, I was talking about the map strat, Di and I were talking about what was going on, and I'm looking over in my game and everyone is ready to go, and I'm still going off on my rant, and I'm like, oh god, I gotta wrap things up, they're ready to go. So I just want to say thank you guys for being on the ball there today and helping us keep things going.
Yeah,
happy to help. Helpful.
Inadvertently helpful, but yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah.
All right, so Nita, just talking to Live, we've got codes for 1000 MC and 2 mech bays if we want to do the giveaway.
Toasty, okay. How will I do that? Because I don't think I have access to the bot.
Just use the locks tool.
I do not know how to access that. Do you?
Okay.
If you do, I'll let you handle the giveaways because I don't know how to do it.
I have not set it up, so
I've never touched
that
just tool
before. I have not either, so we probably should have set up this
before we started, quite possibly. I didn't even think about the giveaways.
Look, rather than keep people sitting around waiting, do you want to cast next week a match and we'll double up and give away?
Sure. What time though?
Well, let's see what's being scheduled for next week for week 5, and then we'll put a post out on Outreach.
Okay. Just because my life schedule changes next week. I'm actually studying overnight, so my schedule will change a lot. So it'll depend on if I'm available. But just message me off stream in the Discord whenever, and we can schedule that.
No worries. All right, so very sorry, folks, but due to technical issues raised our incompetence, no codes giveaways.
Yeah, sorry guys, no giveaways. As I said, it didn't come up, and I didn't think about it until Di just mentioned it, and I've never used the tool that most people use for the giveaways. I just use my own bot, so sorry guys, no giveaways this time. We'll try and get giveaways for you next time when I'm casting it.
All right, so I think we should probably sign out now before we embarrass ourselves further.
I mean,
thank you once again to the captains.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you to,
Have a great
thank you to all the viewers for watching.
Yep, thank you everybody in the stream chat for hanging out and watching the matches. They were very interesting matches for sure. Yeah, both teams did a very good job, so thank you for the entertaining matches, and yeah, we'll see you all later.
We off?
Nope. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream here. I'm gonna send it off to somebody. But yes, once again, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you all have a great day. As I said, we'll get we will get codes for you guys at another time. In the meantime, though, my name is Nita Pickle. I'm signing off, and I will see you guys later. Thank you all for hanging out and watching the stream. Have a good one.